Welcome to Impel Down, a prison that doesn't just cage bodies, it devours souls. From crimson forests that slice skin with every step to icy corridors where breath itself turns to knives, each level is a new definition of pain. Keep moving, keep breathing, because every second here is borrowed time. Welcome to Level 1, Crimson Hell, where nature is the warden and the forest is the cage. The ground isn't dirt, it's needles. Parabarizo, grass sharpened like 1,000 tiny spears, stabbing with every step until feet go numb from the pain, and then the numbness becomes worse than the stabbing because it means the body's giving up. Above, red kenju trees loom, their leaves sliced into razor-thin blades that whisper when the air shifts and scream when a body cuts through them. The wind carries a metallic tang. Blood has a smell. Here, that smell never fades. Nobody walks in Crimson Hell. Prisoners run. They run because guards with batons and masks love the chase. They run because the venomous spiders love it even more. These aren't tiny crawlies. These are needle-fanged hunters that move like shadows over bark and backs. Every direction looks the same. Red trees, red leaves, red ground, crimson. The forest is a mouth, swallowing sound and spitting out screams. There are barely any walls. There doesn't need to be. When the forest itself wants blood, architecture is a formality. And yet buried inside the blades and the breathless sprinting, there's a hole. It's not a door, it's a dare. Drop through and the world narrows into a vertical tunnel that smells like rust and heat. Some prisoners see the hole and jump, not out of hope, but out of strategy. Crimson Hell breaks the skin. The floor below breaks everything else. Choose a new pain, flip the coin. Pray the other side is kinder. It isn't. The first sound of Wild Beast Hell is a roar that doesn't end. Level 2 is an open killing ground where cages are swapped for coliseums and the crowd is made of monsters. The Basilisk, the Manticore, the Sphinx, a lion-faced titan with arms like pillars and a mind that hates what it can't understand, which is unfortunately everything. These beasts aren't natural. They're too big, too wrong, bred for cruelty and starved for sport. The ground is packed earth-stained into ancient patterns, like the floors remember every chase that ever occurred and drew a map of terror to commemorate it. The guards hardly lift a finger. Why should they? The monsters do the heavy work. A prisoner runs, claws answer. A prisoner hides. Breath betrays. There's no clever route, no perfect plan. The goal isn't to serve a sentence. It's to survive the next 10 minutes. And survive the 10 minutes after that. And 10 minutes after that. 10-minute lives strung together until something catches a leg or a back or a throat. And the story ends with a crunch and a roar that silences everything. Still, there's a way down. Stone stairs cut into the level like the ribs of a beast, leading into dry heat that rises like the breath of a furnace. Running won't help on the next floor. Hunger will find what claws couldn't. Step into level 3 and the air thickens. The heat here isn't about flame, it's about pressure. The stones radiate it. The walls store it. Breathing feels like sipping from a boiling cup. Every inhale scratches the throat. Every exhale begs for mercy. But the heat is a distraction. The real torture is emptiness. Food becomes a story people tell each other to pass the time. Water becomes a myth. Rations are measured in cruelty, just enough to deny death, not enough to deny despair. Strong men collapse under their own weight. Survivors from level 2, the ones who outran monsters, become ghosts who stare through bars at hallucinations only they can name. The hunger dulls edges first. Thought turns blunt. Voices slur. Fights stop not because compassion returns, but because the energy to hate is gone. The body starts to eat itself, and the mind cheers it on just to feel something again. The floor is unstable, as if the level itself is tired. Sections crumble and drop into the inferno below, swallowing the last energy of anyone who dares to explore. But exploration isn't common here. Not because prisoners don't want to escape, because standing up costs a small fortune in strength, and strength here is a currency that never ever increases. Those who last get dragged down eventually. If the heat doesn't pull them, gravity will. Only then do they realize the worst part. The next level below doesn't cool off. It cooks. Now the heat has a voice. Level 4, the blazing hell, pulses like a furnace. Boiling blood thunders through massive pipes under the floor, turning everything into a pressure cooker that never powers down. The air vibrates. The skin prickles before it burns. Step too close to one of those pipes and blisters lip like bubbles. Sit too long and sweat becomes acid, eating through resolve until sanity tastes smoky and memory smells charred. This is where the infamous are kept. Not because it's safe, but because pain is constant and reliable. The floor itself brands bare feet. The walls radiate punishment. Guards wear heat-resistant suits, and even they can't last long without counting seconds until relief. Some prisoners are boiled alive, swallowed by the industrial organs of a prison that doubles as a kitchen. Yes, the kitchen is here, because cruelty loves symbolism. Food cooks in the same breath that cooks hope. Flesh isn't the only thing roasted. Willpower crisps at the edges until it flakes and falls, but in the heart of the inferno, a shadowed stairwell drops into black. No glow from below, no glare, just a throat of darkness swallowing the orange world whole. The heat fades as the steps descend. That should be good news. It isn't, because the opposite of fire is not relief, it's stillness, and stillness is where breath breaks. The first breath on level 5 hurts, not emotionally, physically. The cold slices lungs like a betrayal. The air is knife-edged, the kind of cold that stings at first, and then numbs and then steals. Frost webs over steel bars and crawls down walls in quiet white fingers. The floor crunches, the skin cracks, voices die in the throat. Even echoes refuse to live here. Only the worst of the worst are sent to freezing hell. Some carry bounties big enough to fund small nations. Others carry histories better buried. Here time slows. Pain stops being loud. It becomes a whisper, then a hush, then a weight that presses the chest until even fear freezes. Survival turns into math. How many heartbeats can the body afford at this temperature? The answer is always a fewer than hoped. And as if the cold weren't enough, the demon wolves roam. Exiles from level 2, too vicious to obey, too hungry to control. They didn't just hunt prisoners, they hunted the monsters. When the beast became prey, the staff stopped pretending. They banished the wolves to the blizzards of level 5, where the cold sharpens their rage and the darkness guards their approach. Their howls travel through ice like threads through cloth. Cages? Not necessary. The cold is the cage. The wolves are the guards. The night is the alarm. In level 5, survival has a new equation. Be quieter than snow, emptier than scent, and luckier than sound, and luckier than sound. Most prisoners become statues before a wolf ever sees them. The few who don't learn the most important rule here, hope is a fire, and fires die fast. But the prison has secrets, and the biggest secret doesn't belong to the world government at all. Nestled between the ice above and the abyss below is level 5.5. Nukama Land, a pocket carved out not by blueprints, but by defiance. Hey! A hidden cavern chiseled with a power that moves rock itself, then transformed into something unheard of with an Impel Down. A sanctuary. Warmth greets cold skin like an apology. Food appears like a memory made real. Music replaces screams. Laughter replaces orders. Makeup brushes and boas replace chains and clubs. This is a rebel heartbeat, drummed by the Nukama, followers who refuse to be defined by the world that tried to crush them. Under the flamboyant, unbreakable leadership of Emporio Ivankov, this underground haven trains the body, heals the spirit, and rekindles the one currency Impel Down spends all day destroying: hope. Do not mistake softness for weakness. Nukama Land is not gentle, it is resilient. It is a workshop where ghosts become warriors and warriors become family. Some wait for rescue, others build their own exit. All of them prove the same truth. Unity is sharper than any blade on level 1, louder than any roar on level 2, stronger than any hunger on level 3, hotter than any flame on level 4, brighter than any ice on level 5. In the darkest place, the brightest light isn't sunlight, it's community. And then there's the bottom, level 6, eternal hell. There's no heat here, no ice, no beasts, no forests, just distance. The cells are spaced like islands sunk in black water. Sound doesn't travel. Names don't matter. History isn't kept, it's erased. This is where the world government hides the people it refuses to acknowledge. Not criminals to be punished, but stories to be deleted. No trial, no headline, no trace. If level 1 is pain, and level 2 is fear, and level 3 is emptiness, and level 4 is fire, and level 5 is silence, level 6 is absence. But absence is dangerous, because the people locked here are too large to vanish quietly. Legends caged in darkness don't grow smaller, they grow sharper. The silence becomes a whetstone. The mind rehearses escape, not as a plan, but as a destiny. Fordga's D Ace sat in this quiet before the world dragged him into daylight and tied him to a symbol. Jinbi, stubborn and honorable, chose loyalty that cost him daylight. Crocodile, sandstorm, turned shadow, waited like a coiled habit. The cells didn't contain them. They stored them. They stored a catastrophe. When Impel Down trembled and order cracked, the doors on level 6 didn't open. They failed. That was enough. The world had worked very hard to pretend these people didn't exist. The world learned a cruel math that day. Forgetting a monster doesn't make it smaller. It makes the surprise bigger when it returns.